Connie. Welcome back to the channel. Today, I've got these crazy acrylic bead caps, and they're just kind of odd looking. I think they're came from Germany or somewhere. I bought them when there was a sale running somewhere. I don't remember now where it was, but anyway, I think today I'm going to try to tackle a project using those bead caps. And let's get started and see what it looks like. I always bite this crazy mess off. Anyway, let's go. Okay, so here we are with this acrylic bead cap project. Oh my gosh, I decided to go ahead and lay the pattern out because it's another one of those patterns that reverses itself when you start on the other side. So my little brain sometimes doesn't process. So I went ahead and laid it out. But anyway, let me sip my coffee right here just for a second. And I'll show you these little bead caps. These little guys right here, they're acrylic. They kind of look like glass, but they don't have the shine and brilliance of glass, which is one thing that I don't really like, but that's just the way it is. But anyway, we've got these little bead caps here, and the outside of them are, I had this earlier and I totally forgot how much it is. Okay, so the outside of these perimeter out here is 17 millimeters. Now, when you flip it over, the inside little spot right in here is only 10. The caveat is that the 10 millimeter beads don't fit in there as well as an 8 or 9 millimeter would. So I had to really do some shifting when I was working with these, and my brain just was going, what can I do with these things? They're just so different and odd. But I had an idea. So I found these, and then I found these beautiful cut crackle glass. I mean, look at the crackles in there. Is that not gorgeous? And the color is so brilliant. I thought, oh, those have got to go home with me. So anyway, I decided to use this beautiful blue crackle glass with it. Now, as I got started, and I was experimenting, you know how you experiment with things to see what just really hits your visual palette. And so sooner or later you'll hit something, you go, oh, that makes me sing. So I kept putting these little beads in here, and I would stick them in there like that, and I would look at them and I'd go, it's just uneventful. What is it? Does it need? What does it need? Well, it needs something on the top. So what I wound up doing, gotta love this, to cap or not to cap? That is the question for all you Shakespeare people. So what I did was I went ahead and I got out some bead caps, and I think these are 9 millimeter, I believe. So I decided to cap the top like that. And so I put that together, and then I looked at it and went, something's still missing. I don't know what it is. So I wound up capping with this 4 millimeter the inside of it. So I capped the outside and I capped the inside. Then I added my bead, and it gave just enough light inside the acrylic cap that your eye knows something there, but you're not sure what you're seeing. And I thought, okay, so that is going to work right there. So I decided to use 4 bead caps in this particular necklace. Now, when I got down here to the middle of this one, I decided to just do a solid wall of blue, and I capped the larger beads here. So anyway, once I started wiring it up, it looked amazing. So let me, oh, I forgot to tell you, I think this bead is a 10 millimeter. Let me check here just a moment. Yes, these really large ones are 10 millimeter, and these are 8, I believe, the little small guys. Yes, the little small guys are 8. So that is where we've got. I'm making this a 24-inch necklace so that we can take advantage of this. I'll be back in just a minute. All right, let's get started on this project. For those of you who like to watch the stringing process, I am going to string a few things along, and we'll get started. So because this side is going this way and this side is going in this way, I'm going to bead down to this part right here first to just get the bead cap part in there is where I'm headed first. Because when you have to flip them going the other direction. My hands are not in the center like they should be, so hang on. I'm going to move the camera. Okay, I think that's a little closer. All right, so I'm going to try to be mindful of my hands in the camera. Okay, so I've put on my first acrylic cap, and I've got it capped. You can see the little bead cap right there. Capped it. Now I'm putting the small 4 millimeter bead inside the acrylic cap, and then the little tiny bead, the 8 millimeter. Okay, now I'm starting the next one. So I'm going to cap the big bead. This. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to cap the top of the cap. We're going to cap the cap like so, like that. And that makes the distinction between this bead and this cap, but it accents both things. So that's kind of where we're headed. Then I'm putting the little small 4 millimeter inside the other cap. So I'm capping my cap and capping my 8 millimeter bead. Oh my goodness. All right. So we're capping the large bead. Then we're going to cap the cap. And there's the acrylic cap. And then we're going to cap the bead inside the cap. This is getting me hilarious. Oh my gosh, I hope y'all see the humor because it's hilarious to me. Okay, so we got the cap inside the cap. I gotta stop for a minute. I'm too tickled. Okay, I think I got my tickle box turned off now. Okay, so we've got the cap. Then we are going to cap the cap, the acrylic cap. Then we're going to put the acrylic one on. And then we're capping the inside of the acrylic cap, putting on this little bead right here. We're going to cap the large bead, and then down here like so. Cap the acrylic cap, put on the acrylic cap, cap the inside of the acrylic cap, and add the small bead. And if you'll notice, I changed from this bead cap right here, I changed between the two. You can see I've got, that's about a 10 millimeter right there, and that one's a 9. No, this is 12. I'm sorry, that's a 9. But I switched from these to these as I got down to the middle in this section because I wanted these beads to have just a beautiful, beautiful pop of color on them. So I went to that cap instead. Kind of gives it a little bit more of an accent, so to speak. All right, so we're putting on this beautiful floral cap. Okay, so we're going to cap once again, the cap. Put on the acrylic cap. Cap the inside of the cap. Uh-oh, my little guy took off. And then add these. So we're almost finished with this thought right here. We're going to get to the middle. Kept this little guy. Put the little bitty 4 millimeter inside. And then we are here. Okay, so we're down to the middle of the necklace. All right, so we're in the middle part now of the necklace, and this is actually the centerpiece right here. And I decided to go all blue. And you may be wondering why, with this color of blue, that I chose not to use silver. Because when I bought these glass beads, they had a little silver or kind of a silver lined bead dividing them so they wouldn't crack on each other. The reason why I decided not to do silver is because it's too predictable. It's just too predictable. Although silver is beautiful with this, I thought gold would give it just a little bit of an offset. And actually, copper or a rose gold would have been absolutely off the chain stunning with this blue. But I didn't have those in the items that I needed, and they're a little bit harder to find in copper and rose gold. The caps are a little bit harder to find those, especially in larger decorative pieces. So anyway, so I decided to go with the gold. And gold's kind of getting a resurgence right now as well. So here we are. We're down here. We are going to start this centerpiece thought. So I've got one and one large. And then what I'm doing is I'm just flanking one side of the bead, all pointing to the center. So when we do this other side, all the caps are going to be pointing down to the middle. That's the to draw your eye that way. So here we go. One more. And one more. And now we're at the center bead. And because here is where the flip is going to start, so I am flanking both sides of the middle center bead with a cap. That designates the center, but it also designates the flip of this going this way. So it's a little easier for you to navigate. All right, so I flipped it. And now the caps are going, you're going to put the bead on first, then the cap, opposite end. I can turn it. These beads are so beautiful. Oh my goodness. The color is just jumping off the workstation here. Okay, so now we've got the center. You can see the middle of it right there. There's our center. And now we've reversed the pattern going back this way. And I am going to flip my necklace so that I don't make a mistake. So I will be right back. All right, I laid out the pattern so you could see the flip here. Okay, so we're reversing from this side to this side. You got the bead, the cap within the cap, then the cap, then the cap on top of the cap. Then a large bead and a large decorative cap. And then you start repeating that pattern over again. So I'm going to start stringing just here so you can see. And I can't pick him up. And you can use a bead board for this. I mean, it's probably easier with a bead board, and I've said this before, but I was taught using a piece of leather. And so I just kind of, I'm so used to it, you know. But I do need to incorporate a couple of new tools that would make life a little bit easier. And when I get them, I'll share them with you. And I'm sure most of you who have been doing this for any length of time probably already have them. So I'm not even thinking in those modes. I'm just excited about what it is I'm creating. And do I have what I need to make it, you know? So, alrighty. And here we go. I told you, to cap or not to cap. Oh, these are a different little animal. I don't know. They're just kind of an oddity. And when I bought them, I thought, what the heck am I going to do with these? I don't know. But hey. All right, so I am well on my way. Yep. I'm going to bead the rest of these. You bead the rest of yours, and we'll be back in just a second. Okay, I'm down to the finishing end here. And what I'm going to do, and I think it'll be soft around the neck, is to finish the rest of the top out with the little small 8mm beads. And I'm going to just do one cap on top of each bead as I'm going up. So I'll do this one side right here for those of you who like to watch this process. And it'll probably take 8 to 10 beads maybe to achieve what I'm trying to do. And I hope you guys are doing stuff that's really cool. I just so wish I could see what everybody's doing. It's just exciting for me to see what y'all are doing, or if there's anything that I've inspired you to do or try. That's even more fun for me, because everybody's got ideas constantly flowing in your brain, and to have it actually materialize is really exciting. So it's just fun. Let me go here a few more beads. I want to make sure that it's going to be 24 when I put the clasp on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll start with 8 here. All right, that's 8 on that side. Clamp that right there. And we'll do 8 on this side. And I know a lot of you guys have been beading for years and years and years, and some of you probably much, much longer than even me. So, you know, some of you could do this with your eyes closed, I'm sure. But, you know, sometimes it's not necessarily the complexity of what you're doing. It's the end result. What does it look like? Does it make you happy? Does it bring joy? Does it bring excitement when you look at it or when you wear it? Or if it's a gift going to somebody, does it make you excited to give it to them? So it's really, that has nothing to do with the complexity of something, but how is it relating to you, and how is it relating to other people? Because sometimes the most elaborate thing can be just absolutely stunningly off the chain. And then sometimes the most simple thing is stunning and off the chain. It's kind of like playing music. You can play 50 billion notes, but if it doesn't have life on it, it really doesn't speak. And then you'll have somebody come in who will play one note and all the walls fall down because it has life on it and it's speaking. So it's the same thing with jewelry creations to me. You know, you want life on it and you want your life on it because your hand is doing it. So yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I'm gonna stop right here and see where I am as far as lengthwise. Ooh, almost there. So I'm going to add a few more beads up here on the top, and I'll get back with you and we'll do the clasp. All right, I'm down to the end here, and to expedite our time, I went ahead and put the one half of the clasp on over here. So I'm going to finish it off here, and remember to pull your beads down where you don't have any gaps. Not so tight that it buckles. You don't want that, but you don't want wide gaps of beading wire showing either. Okay, so just kind of shake it down and let it fall where it may. Put your finishing bead on, or your next to the last finishing bead on before you put on your bead cap, like so. All right, then we're going to do our crimp. And this to me is the hardest part of doing a finish off is this. So you put your crimp on, put the clasp on, run the thread back through the crimp. It should look like that. Hopefully you can see that. Then I'm going to pull it down to where it almost meets the clasp, almost meets the bead down here. Now remember, you want to make sure, as always, to leave room so the clasp can move around. You don't want it so tight that it is like screaming at you for air, so to speak. All right, we're going to crimp this, so you're going to mash it and then fold it. If it's a tube crimp, you've got to mash it and then fold it. Otherwise, your wire will slide out. Then I'm going to take just the remainder of what I can, and I'm going to run it back down through as many beads as I can. This takes just a little bit of time because the bead caps are a little small here. So I want to make sure that it goes down through there, and it just takes a little bit of time. And I kind of roll my beads as I'm doing this so that the holes will line up. And you don't have to go down very far. I go down as far as I can just because it's just a little more security at the top. There it is right there. Pull that little thread through. I've threaded it a pretty good ways here. I'm going to keep going for a few more. Get down in there, baby. Get one more through there. That way I know the wire won't come out at the top. There's nothing worse than the wire coming out because it will scratch your neck, as a lot of you know that have been beading for quite some time. Get in there. Don't be cantankerous on the last one. Oh, it's still going. Okay. Come on. Well, maybe he doesn't want to go through there. Oh, there it is. Duh. Oops, didn't catch it. There it is, right there. Okay. Now I'm going to take my little flush cutters and I'm going to cut that as close to the bead as I can. There it goes. All right. Bead cap goes on. Remember your bead caps. I know y'all probably get tired of me saying that, but it is very, very important to make everything look finished. And take your time doing this. Don't get in a hurry. Beading is not a hurry up job. You got to take your time doing things. If you don't have patience, this probably isn't for you. All right, and then I'm rubbing my finger across it to make sure that my crimp doesn't have any rough edges. You want to make sure both ends are flush like this, otherwise it'll scratch your neck. So I'm running my finger across it there. Needs just a little tweaking. All right. Yes, smooth, smooth. All right. We are done with this project, and oh my goodness, I would have never thought these acrylic bead caps could turn out to be as beautiful as they did. And look how they catch the light. Oh my, look at that. Wow. What a beautiful, beautiful summer color and summer look. Oh, wow. Whites, blacks, yellows. Oh my goodness, it would be so light blues. Just beautiful, beautiful things you can wear it with. Okay, this project is done. It's exciting. I'm excited we're done. See you on the next project. Bye.